All right, welcome to the Hartselle Football Coaches Show. I'm your host, Margaret Ann Prater, alongside head coach, Coach Burt Newton. And tune in to us every Wednesday on our YouTube Hartselle Tiger channel. And then guys are going to be broadcasting from Homewood. We'd rather have you there. But if you can't make it, tune in on Friday night on the NFHS Network. Coach, let's thank our sponsors. We've got Agency on Main, 80 Pruitt Ford, Express Bath, Marmac Commercial Real Estate, Pate Funeral Home, and Life Church. One day I'm going to memorize those. Before we talk about the round one win, I just want to clear the air. I got a lot of questions about why we didn't switch our game to Thursday. Would you like to explain that really quick?
We tried to. I wanted to. Monday night, I started texting with their head coach, and then Tuesday morning, I said, "Hey, let's get ahead of this thing, and everybody's going to start moving." I thought it was going to be a deal where, about like when schools let out, because the tornado's coming or whatever, where it's just a trickle down, but you can plan ahead. But anyway, they didn't want to do it, and so we didn't do it, and because both teams had to agree, so and ended up being fine though. I mean, the weather went north of us and hit in Tennessee and didn't get us, and we got a little sprinkles here and there, but it was fine.
Okay. Survived advance. We talked about that. You did just that. Defensive shutout. Offense did pretty well. How'd you feel about how the guys showed up and played Friday?
I mean, I thought we were dominant. They had that one snafu right before the half where the guy picked that, they tipped the ball, and Coach Lang had the perfect call. I mean, the boot was wide open, Kane was wide open, and the guy just made a great play, tipped it, and then, that sophomore linebacker who's going to be a big-time college guy one day, took it, and I said, we're going to catch him. We didn't catch him.
It was fast. I mean, everyone was just standing there watching him and playing. Let's talk about your practice schedule. The students were out of school today. We will not. They're going to be out tomorrow. So how are you keeping everybody locked in? Because, we're all about routine around here.
Yeah. So, today we got done with our Falcon meeting at 10:30 and or before 10:30. So we started at 10:30 and we did our regular Monday. We came in, we met, we did film, we did walkthroughs, and then this best teams meetings, and then went out and had a regular practice and got them out of here and try to keep fresh legs. Tomorrow we're coming in at 8 and do our regular, Tuesday deal, and have them out of here by 11 o'clock and try to keep everything normal as can be. Wednesday will be normal, Thursday's normal, and Friday. I had a bunch of, questions. At what time do y'all want to get out of school? I said, well, what do you mean? Well, do you want to get out at noon and drive down to Birmingham and eat? No, we're getting out. When school's over with, we're going to come down here, get on a bus, eat Chick-fil-A sandwich, and drive to Birmingham and go down Lakeshore Drive and be at Bob Aldrich Stadium and play a football game. So keep it as normal as possible.
Absolutely. I do want to give you a congratulations. I released the graphic this week. You've known about it for a little bit, but you were named defensive coordinator for the North All-Star team. But also, and in your mind, I know you're going to say more importantly, we had Cole Miles named your team. So how important is that to have both of you guys together and representing our school on the state level?
It's not important, but it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a great experience for Cole and myself. I'm a little nervous about it. You have to run a certain type of defense, and it's not what we run. So
3-3 stack.
Yeah, no, it is not 3-3 stack. You cannot do 3-3 stack. You're supposed to be 4-3, and you got to have one high, and there's rules. And so as far as what you can do, and you can't blitz, I'm looking forward to it. But again, I'll be out of my comfort zone, which is a good thing.
Well, and that's my saying now is that's a problem for December Coach Newton, right?
Yeah.
We got November Coach Newton worried about Homewood.
Yeah. I promise you, I'm way more worried about Homewood than I am that North South Officer game. I promise you that.
Also, he's co-player of the game. We got Auburn here. Talk about why you chose Auburn and Cole for your 80 Pruitt Ford, whatever named.
Cole played solid on defense, but he also had two big catches. That one was a unbelievable catch down there near our end zone, and then that big third down one across the middle, and so obviously that's he was our offensive player of the game, which is he plays defense, but he's not playing offense every snap too now. So and then Auburn, man, I've always said if you get behind the sticks and it's like he shot out of a cannon. He's so quick, and they didn't double team him. They didn't put a tight end on him. They didn't do H-back, and he just had free reign there. And so, I mean, he had 3 sacks, but he tackled for losses. I mean, he played great.
We're 0-3. How's this against your alma mater? Last time we played was 2014 with a loss in the first round of the playoffs.
Yep.
When you look at their schedule, the only loss they have is against Mountain Brook, and that was in overtime. So how are we matching up with these guys?
They're very similar to us. They're extremely well coached, both sides of the ball. Both their coordinators I've known for a long time and friends with, and their head coach, same thing. My kids grew up in Homewood, same age as their kids, and so I've been around them a bunch, and they're really a lot like us. I mean, they're solid on defense. They run around, they hit you. They're not going to give any big plays. And on offense, they're like us. They're going to run the football and try to get an explosive play. They got a really good receiver and quarterback, and it's going to be a tough game. But I will say this: I told our kids this morning. Our best will win, but we'll have to have our best to win.
Well, and they also play on a grass field. I know we like to use our grass field as an advantage. That kind of wipes that off the table too, right? Because they're used to playing on grass.
They're used to playing on grass, but their grass is dying. They didn't overseed. They didn't do what Aaron Lane did. He put the rye on ours, made it green. So theirs is kind of yellow.
Okay, and I got a Homewood question for you.
Okay.
You're familiar with the area.
I am.
And we want a lot of people to come down there and watch. So where do we need to go eat for the ball game?
All right, so I would go to Soho Social or Pizza GM's. Now, if you want to get in there early and get a reservation, John Marco's is the Italian restaurant there it's in the middle of Edgewood. That's the best one. But getting in and out is not going to be easy. But so Pizza GM's is the offset of them. It's kind of like Pizza Heads. It's in West Homewood near the stadium. And then Soho Social is in downtown Homewood, and that's a good one.
Okay. Now you know where to go eat. We'll be right back.
Come see us at Eddie Pruitt Ford. We're a proud supporter of Hartselle Athletics.
Now we're here with our offensive segment. This is actually going to be a little bit shorter than usual.
Okay.
Because we've kind of dominated, the offense kind of dominated the show. This was a little more defense-centric.
Sounds good.
But I'm going to rip the Band-Aid right off. Let's talk about pick six.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like that? And walk us through it.
It was definitely deflating, I guess you could say. That first half, offensively, I thought went, pretty smooth. I know we had to kick a field goal, but went pretty smooth otherwise. But, if you look at the tape, Tane is wide open. We run that sprint out of protection. In my 5 years calling plays, over 100, 150 times, including in practice, and it's never been batted down by a scraping linebacker. And so that guy just made a heck of a play. The concept was open. We'll continue to run it. But it was, if you watch it on film, that dude jumps about 10 foot up in the air. So it was one heck of a play.
It was the jump and then how fast the other guy was, and he was big.
Yeah, big old guy.
And he just took off.
When Corey came to the sideline, I was like, what do I do, coach? I was like, dude, they just made a heck of a play, man. Like, sometimes you just got to tip your hat in defense.
Right. Well, I wasn't trying to hone in on a mistake. It was just, to me, it was amazing. Just like you put in your statistics. Heck of a play by Buckhorn.
Out of all the things I thought would go wrong, it was definitely not what I thought would go wrong. Like, if we throw a pick, that's fine, but I didn't anticipate that player making that type.
Right. I was listening because I like to kind of try to beat the traffic. So as soon as the game's over, I go. And my radio was set on the Buckhorn broadcast because that's the sports station out of Huntsville. And they complimented Kane and they complimented our running game. But they referred to Carter Lee as our field general and gave him the MVP for their part just because of the way he navigated the game. What can you say about how our offense is starting to operate like a machine right now?
I feel like I say it every week, and it's probably, beating a dead horse here. But, his mentality of just whatever happens, good, bad, and ugly, let's just play the next play. And our offense is truly starting to, play that way. And I say it all the time. He could be a captain every week. I know it was a pick six, and that stat-wise kind of throws it off a little bit. But if you look at just how he's controlled the game, almost every game that we've played, and just managed it well, can't say enough about him. He's had one heck of a year, and let's just keep it rolling.
Well, and the run game, when I looked at the stats, that was kind of our, I don't want to say weak link, because it maybe that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Was what Buckhorn was showing us, did it mean that we'd be a little more pass heavy? Was our run game just not going, or do we have short fields? What happened there?
No. So we were talking about it yesterday. The back half of the year, we've had a lot of defenses that were really good in the box, and so that's some of it. Is I know Buckhorn. Maybe as a fan, we get used to Buckhorn not being quite as good as maybe some other teams, but in the box, they had some guys that were big dudes and college-level players. And so that was some of it. Also, structurally, a lot of teams here of late they basically play two safeties deep, and they keep the eye on the quarterback, and so they watch when we hand the ball off, and then they're attacking downhill. And so a lot of times we're blocking it really well. It's the safety making the tackle. And as a coach, that's about all you can do is try to, get the blocking scheme down to where the safeties make the tackle. And they've done that, and that's a credit to the defenses we played. But I wouldn't say it was a bad night rushing. It's just, some teams are good, and it's not going to be 200 plus every night.
Buckhorn team was 7-3.
Yeah,
it wasn't a 4-6 kind of Buckhorn.
Yeah.
One more question. Our offensive strategy against Muscle Shoals was to kind of keep them off balance, right?
Right.
We made it through a half doing that, and then it kind of, they started scoring it, and we kind of lost that. Have we learned from our mistakes that we made, and do you think that we're ready to regroup and face another team that's going to be as fundamentally sound as Muscle Shoals and Homewood?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things out of the Muscle Shoals game was it wasn't a lack of focus. Honestly, it was, they amped up and they had an extra gear and they were really, really good. But at the same time, we didn't make plays like when the drive before half or the drive coming out of half where we had the chance to kind of put our stamp on the game. We didn't make the plays. And so that's kind of been the focus. That's the same type team we're playing here is when we have a chance to, put your foot on their throat or, have the chance to make the plays, you have to make it. And against good teams, that's just the way it rolls. And hopefully we can do it this week.
We're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. We'll be right back.
When it comes to college sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, or softball, Hartselle is pretty much a town divided. But when it comes to our hometown athletes,
we are all Team Tiger, and at Agency on Main, we want to be your hometown real estate team.
Whether you're buying or selling, residential, commercial, land, or auction properties, trust the professionals at Agency on Main for all your real estate needs.
Go Tigers!
Hey, Dad. That kind of looks like our car.
Wait a minute. It is our car.
Honey, we're good. That's why we chose auto owners. We worked with our agent to get the right coverage so that when the unexpected happens, we know we're covered.
Huh. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Peck Glasgow Agency if auto owners make sense for you.
All right, we're here with our co-player of the week, our Eddie Pruitt Ford co-player of the week. We've got Cole Milesy. Cole, congratulations on a great game. I also have another congratulations. If you were paying attention to our social media, you got selected for the North-South All-Star Games. That's a really big deal. How's it going to feel having your head coach as your defensive forward?
I think it's going to make me feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm down there. He said he nominated me back in the start of the year, and I feel like that just shows the amount of trust he has in me, and the way I was able to play this year, I feel like he wants me to be able to play with those guys. And he said he put me down as like an athlete because he don't really know what to put me down as. So I just appreciate him doing that for me.
I think that's awesome. And I mean, what a gift you bring to the table. That's you fall right in my second question. You're getting used to this. Because my next question is going to be talking about how you play both sides of the ball. And it seems like we start you out on defense. And then slowly but surely you're worked in to the offensive play calls. How is that with practice? Are things getting hectic? Do you like this time of year when we're using you on both sides of the ball? Are you fatigued?
I like doing whatever they want me to do. They'll come up to me before the year and they'll say, "Hey, we're gonna be working you in on a couple sets at the beginning of the year," and then just throughout the whole season, it gets more and more like leveled up, I guess you could say. But I enjoy it in practice. We have a plan every day of where I'm supposed to be, at what time, and I think fatigue wise, I think offense and defense does a good job of not having me on much special teams as usual, so I can catch my breath a little bit. But other than that, I enjoy doing both, and I just enjoy doing whatever they want me to do.
Well, and you play a very physical style of football. When I see you out there, you're wanting to hit people hard through all the things. How are you staying healthy? Because I know recovery is very important. So you're taxing your body quite a bit every Friday. What are you doing to stay healthy?
I would say the coaches do a good job of like sometime throughout the weeks we'll have a deload lift, and that means just we're doing less amount of reps with lower weight just to kind of keep our legs fresh. And the past couple of weeks, Coach Students kind of cut down practice to make sure we're fresh on our legs for the games. And also outside of practice, just make sure I'm drinking water and just staying healthy on that end too.
Sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, sleep. Yeah. You've been on the show a couple of times. We like to highlight different people. There's those guys that are coming and doing what they're supposed to do every day. Sometimes they slip through the cracks. So who have we let slip through, or who needs a shout out today that maybe we haven't covered as much as we should?
I would say maybe some of the other spur over guys like Holland and Braylon. They do a good job. They're having to play kind of Holland has to play rover and spur sometimes, and Braylon has to play spur. And also Owen, he does corner and spur over too. I think they do a good job of being where they need to be when the time comes.
Well, and I'm going to ask you the same question that I'm going to ask Auburn to finish out the segment. You're a senior. You're playing one-game seasons right now. Very important. What are you saying in the locker room? I guess that's the best way to put it, to your teammates, to not get them worked up too much, keep everybody focused.
I would say it's just for the seniors. It's our last year, and y'all want to go out there and try to win state championship. That's kind of the goal here. And I think everybody else kind of knows how good we can be when we all play right. So I think it's just telling them, hey, it's couple more weeks we got. Let's just finish strong.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right.
We really do have the coldest bed out there. It has fans in it. I sleep on it every night.
I want to sleep like I'm at a 5-star resort.
Many of you know that my chiropractor stands behind me. This bed is the reason why.
So restlessness at 0% and wait.
Okay, we're here with our defensive segment, and look who we have here. We have our defensive coordinator, Coach Cole. Been a bit.
Yeah.
A little hard to get away, but we got you today because it's a virtual day. Another game, another shutout, another team with less than 100 yards of offense, sir. How does this defense seem to get better each week?
They play one way. I told them today and yesterday, we just got to keep being who we are. And ever since, not even this season, like when they started in the 8th and 9th grade, they've got one speed and it's go, and that's the way they play. So they really don't know anything different. They're really easy to coach. I just send in a call and they cut it loose. So fun to coach.
A strategy for Hartselle usually is to outsmart and outwork our opponents. Funny thing about that is we're going to go play a team that does just that. So how do we deal with that? How are you? They're using the same strategy we are.
Right. We got to win. If we're we got to win with technique. We got to win with it's not going to be a lot of tricks. They're solid in everything that they do. And I hope that we're solid in what we do, and it's just going to be kind of somewhere within the play, whether it's offensive, defensive lineman, a linebacker on a lineman, a DB either tackling or covering or all those things. And we got to win. We got to win when we're supposed to win.
All right. Well, Coach Newton was credited with, in the Hartselle before I was saying, I'm going to make sure I get my quote right. Once we got up on Buckhorn, it forced them to have to pass the ball, and that's when our defense becomes dangerous. So how do we do that against Hillport?
I think always you got to stop the run. Buckhorn was, I think that's kind of what they wanted to do. They wanted to throw it around a little bit, which I think, I think our guys were ready for that and excited for that. Homewood does. They do so many different things with different formations, really a lot like our offense does. But it still goes back to controlling the box and no shots over the top. And anytime you do that, you have a chance to win. So that's the plan.
And let's talk. I got one more question for you. Let's talk about Auburn Harry, player of the game. Tell me about his evolution as a defensive lineman. How much fun it is to catch him?
Well, I think his evolution as a person and as a teammate and accountability and all those things have, created the defensive lineman that you see. He's always been, as explosive a player as I've ever coached or been around, and stronger than what he size-wise. He's not the biggest guy, but he's so explosive and so strong with everything that he does. But the fact that he's kind of owned the accountability part of it, and the teammate part of it, and that's led to the defensive lineman that you see. So I think it's more than football. I think it's the maturity as a person that's led to what you see the other night and what we see every day in practice.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your time. It's good to see you again.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Looking to remodel your home bathroom? Call Express Bath today.
They were good people to work with. I had no trouble with them.
We always take care of everybody, no matter how big and small.
The team of Express Bath, we do what we say we're going to do.
The highlight was seeing a new shower in a 60-year-old house. It was a great experience.
We're a real company, we're real people, and we love serving real customers.
Call us to schedule an appointment today. Express Bath. We'll bring the duck.
Alabama owned and Alabama loved.
All right, we're here with our 80-foot forward co-player of the week. We've got Auburn Harry, defensive lineman, and good gracious, what a game, sir. Let me read your stats here. You got 4 tackles, 4 furlongs, 3 quarterback sacks, 2 pressures. So I know you did a good job, but sometimes you got to have help from the other team, right? So what did Buckhorn show you that allowed you to have such a good game?
I mean, they just didn't play as fast as us. We was going at full speed every play, and they just couldn't hold us. We're just playing fast.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But faster.
All right. So one of the things that defense does is they react to what the offense gives them, right? But it seems like the past few games, that's starting to tilt to where our defense is kind of dictating what's happening in the game. I mean, even against Muscle Shoals, y'all were keeping us in it, right? So what's changed? Are y'all, starting to hone in on your craft, or are you being able to read the other team better? What's going on?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Watch film a bunch, and I think we're getting the hang of it. Each week, just getting better and better at it.
We'll learn how to read that way. That's see, I think it's fascinating. All right, defensive lineman, we had y'all on. That's still my favorite segment this year because you guys squished Coach Fulps in between you, and all you could see was his face, right? Because y'all are all a little taller than him, and he's one of the funniest humans I've ever met in my life. So tell people at home a story that's okay for people at home about Coach Fulps. What's your funniest moment?
It was the cater week, and he told us he was laying in bed, closing his eyes, and his wife asked him, "What are you thinking about, Jerry?" He was like, "Thinking about my D linemen, how they're gonna kill that QB every play." And it made me laugh so much. He thought that's out of practice. It was funny.
I know that my brother, Coach Prater, gets a kick out of when you guys do O-line, D-line, and if he can get you guys to jump off and, he acts like he's throwing the flag, you said the reaction is just priceless. You've been labeled over and over as the funniest person on the team. When we talk, I'm like, who's the funniest guy? They're all like, Auburn. So if it's not you, who you think's the funniest person?
I mean, I could say a couple. I could say Blaine Johnson, say Dalton Buntabe, but I think Austin Payne really takes the
Really?
Yeah, he can be a funny guy. He looks all hard faced and stuff, but he's a funny dude.
He's on the show. He did a good job. All right, you got one more question. You're doing a great job. You're a senior. Were you telling the other guys in the locker room? Because, we got 1-game seasons. We don't want everybody to get too locked in because then they get nervous, right? So what are you doing? Keep everything kind of easy going, but get everybody ready.
To not take anything for granted. Play every play fast as we can. All night long. Just play it. Because we could lose, we could not, but we're going to keep on pushing, try to make it stay. Just keep on going.
And you told me right before we got on there, we're ready. We're ready. Okay.
Yeah.
You've done a great job. We'll be right back.
Marmac Commercial is the leader in North Alabama for all your real estate needs, from buildings to land to even leasing. Mark and myself have years of experience handling all the different types of commercial deals. While we focus mainly on commercial real estate, the agents at Marmac Commercial even handle all your housing and residential needs with their partner and staff lead by Morgan Jones. I am Shane Odom, and we would like to thank you for your past and future business with Marmac Commercial Real Estate.
All right, we're back with our 80-foot forward fan question of the week. How do you keep the boys from losing their composure and getting 15-yard penalties that really cost us?
I think just leading by example and making sure that we talk about it and we're aware of it. And, we got some of our guys on defense play with an edge, which I love. But, some of our guys like my man Shad and Blaine and Austin Payne are going to play a certain way. And we just got to make sure that we are smart about, what we do and how we play and how we, if we get something that's because we're being too physical, I'm good with it. But if we're running our mouths after the play, I'm not good with it. So, and they know that, and it's a work in progress.
But I'm going to audible on this one. Officiating, how are those crews determined?
So, I checked Dragonfly this morning. I don't know who we're going to have. Usually in Birmingham, you get a crew from, it won't be a Birmingham crew. It'll be a crew from Tuscaloosa or Anniston, usually. So last week, our crew was from Florence, and then 2 of the guys were from Coleman. And I thought they did a good job. So they try to get a different crew where you don't have any hometown type of deal for the refereeing. So anyway, I'm fairly certain that we'll have someone from those associations be my guess. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you, and we'll be right back.
Go Tigers.
Come see us at Eddie Pruitt Ford. We're a proud supporter of Hartselle Athletics.